Hi everybody. Good evening to all of you on a Monday evening. First of all, I want to thank all the audience that have taken out their precious time to attend this webinar. And I'm truly grateful to the MSME Forum for having me here in today's webinar. I'll just quickly introduce all of you to myself. So I had my own family office in Singapore and Jakarta. I worked as an investment banker and advisor to family offices, angel investors in Jakarta, Indonesia, helping startups from a diverse background from fintech, B2B tech, all the way to consumer startups. I was raising funds for them and providing them with a range of services, just as Convanto does today. And after 15 years of staying in Singapore and Jakarta, I came back to India. I did investments for a bit, then returned to advisory. That is when Convanto was founded. Today, Convanto is one of the most well-known boutique investment banks in India, led by a female founder. I'm also a venture advisor with Loyal VC, the INSEAD-led Canadian VC Fund, having a core portfolio of over 160 investments in more than 35 countries. I'm also a partner with GST Venture Studios, a Silicon Valley-based venture builder. Over the years, I've arranged funding for startups and growth stage companies in diverse sectors like edutech, fintech, consumer, B2C, B2B, agri-tech, health tech, food tech, disruptive, and deep tech, as well as non-tech sectors. I would recommend all of you to have a look at my website and do have a look at the wonderful testimonials written by all my clients. And this month, I've been nominated as the top 10 women leaders in wealth management 2021. My expert opinion is often sought in business news channels and publications like VCTV, Business World, and I've participated in 155 talks all over the world. You can easily see them on YouTube and VCTV streaming sites. I'm connected with 300 plus investors globally, and I pick up global deals. We are sector agnostic, and we do typically a $1 million to $25 million. We also help a lot of startups with grooming, with their pitch decks, financial models, with their business plans, and making them investor ready. So let's just start with today's topic. Is it okay if we start with today's topic, Nitesh-ji? So I'll just share my screen. Today's topic is about successful entrepreneur skills. What are the skills we need to have to become a successful entrepreneur? I was hearing some of you here before the session started, and many of you had this thing about going digital, your business not working, but then there must be some things that you are doing incorrectly, which you need to follow in order for your business to work. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to share, before I share my screen, I'm going to share a few tips which will help you, go digital all throughout. Not only that, that will help you to start somewhere if you don't have the expenses right now to market. Now let's see, what do we all use the WhatsApp story for? We use generally for putting our pictures, when we go for parties, when we have birthdays, but we seldom use it for business. Every day you must have a WhatsApp story for a business purpose that the business that you are in. A Facebook story, a LinkedIn story. These are small marketing tips that will help you get a lot of clients. Keep your LinkedIn in order, make it very, very professional, because everybody checks LinkedIn. Have a proper website in order always. And to go digital, you need to connect with people digitally, attend webinars, educate yourself as to how to go digital all throughout to get maximum returns for your business. Because this is pandemic has taught us a lot of things like Zoom, AirMe. If you remember, when our India was hit by demonetization, many of us didn't know how to use Paytm. Many of us didn't know how to use Google Pay. Many of us didn't know how to use the digital payments at all. Hence, because of that, we were forced to use these digital payments. Now you see the vegetable vendor using it, the milkman using it, almost every second person, the taxi bhaiya using it, right? So we were forced to use, hence we started using this digital payment system. Now we find it very, very useful for us. Similarly, when the pandemic hit us, we were not used to Zoom meets, Air meets, StreamYard, Microsoft Teams. We were forced to use these platforms. When we started using these platforms, we realized that without going out in the, on the road, we can actually have 10 to 15 meetings in a day sitting on one chair and utilizing our time more productively. Like I can tell you about myself. I was, before the pandemic, I could only do 4 to 5 meetings in a day because I was always on the road. Now I can do 10 to 15 meetings in a day, all because we have gone all digital. So let's just start with today's topic. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show a PPT. Post the PPT. Please feel free to ask questions on the chat box. And Mr. Mitesh will pick up the good ones and we'll just take up those. I hope that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I hope my screen is visible. Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
So our topic for today is successful entrepreneur skills. What skills we need to have to become a successful entrepreneur. Okay, I've already spoken a lot about myself, and let's see what this is about. Yeah, entrepreneur skills that determine success despite apparent hardships in a business. Now, when we started today's session, many of you mentioned that you are having a lot of hardships. Now, what are the skills that you need to have to get over these hardships? You have to have a transition from traditional wisdom to thinking beyond the established. That drives entrepreneurs to bring disruptive ideas to the table. So what do? Is we are still thinking in conventional ways. We are not thinking in terms of unconventional ways. Like I could tell you about myself. I wanted to do something unconventional. I wanted to have a female-led investment bank. So I went ahead and did that. In those days, it was not acceptable that a woman can go into a finance field. Now people are accepting it. So it is an unconventional thing. You have to come out of your thinking boxes and the conditioned way in which you are. So you have to get into unconditional thinking. Now, being independent thinkers. Being independent thinkers makes entrepreneurs willing to take risks while having the consideration, the possible consequences, and being ready to handle them. So, you're not able to handle risks if you're not a risk taker. And you're not able to handle risks and not willing to, get into, sometimes you will fail. So failure is a stepping stone to greatness. So you have to accept that, okay, now this has happened. Now what's the next step? So when you're willing to take risks, you'll be able to get into something that you can handle better. If you're not willing to take risks, you're not going to change, you're not going to pivot, you're going to be in that same box, then you won't become independent thinkers. Many women in our country, the decision makers are husbands, brothers, fathers. Still, they cannot make their own decisions. Similarly, there are many men behind them. There is somebody else making the decision. So you have to become on your own an independent thinker. You have to become a leader. Practicing decentralized management. Entrepreneurs delegate to co-workers to ensure that decision-making authorities are not limited to a set of top executives. So you have to have a decentralized kind of management. So everybody is involved. It's a teamwork. It's not just work of one person or 2%, or all the decisions are made by somebody who's at the higher authority, So that's one thing. So what does an entrepreneur need to be? Could I request all of you to please mute your speakers, because I can hear the background noise. What does an entrepreneur need to be? Cautiously optimistic, to be confident of facing the outcome at ease, regardless of it being coupled with readiness for possible difficulties. Now, what happens is that many people are not optimistic at all and not cautiously optimistic. I think that quality we need to develop in ourselves. Hence, I would recommend all of you to read the book Power of the Subconscious Mind. It will help your mind to be in center, and it will transform you into a positive person. Be tenacious, to be determined to achieve your goal, and to be unwilling to give up until you do. So you have to set your own goals. Nobody can set it for you. And you have to be determined until you reach that goal. You have to have the patience to understand that there is not only one road to success. You have to have the patience, perseverance. You have to be at it, whatever you are doing. Nobody can do something in 1 month or 2 months. People are very unstable. I've seen founders, they leave things very fast. So you have to be patient to understand that there are many roads to success, and you have to find opportunities. Creative, to search for groundbreaking discoveries and invent disruptive strategies. Now, if you're a startup, you have to be creative. You have to develop something disruptive that is solving a larger problem. I heard somebody mentioning that they are solving a lot of problems after COVID. So I think, if you do something disruptive, it helps the entire community. Persistent, to stay still and handle unforeseen situation of failing ideas with potency. Now, what happens is that we are not persistent with what we do, and we cannot handle uncertainty at times because we are conditioned in such a way always in our system that we are brought up in. So I think, you need to be persistent and, being able to handle gracefully all the situations. You have to be tactful with your workers, be compassionate towards them, because they are the ones that will drive your show. Your team has to be complementary, it has to complement each other, and confident, to be an inspiring figure to your co-workers, even when you have to fake it. So you have to be very, very confident on the outside as well as your inside. And if you shake up, your co-workers will shake up, your clients will shake up, your investors will shake up. So you have to be confident in what you're doing. Consistent, to develop routines and build momentum. If you're not consistent, you keep changing things, you're unstable, then I think there's less chance for you to get success. Critical thinker, to address situations with available facts and information. You have to be a critical thinker always. Now let's see the hard skills that every entrepreneur needs to learn and implement. What are the hard skills? Like I mentioned, some small marketing tips to you. I can tell you these marketing tips really help. I always have a WhatsApp story. I have a Facebook story. I have a LinkedIn story always related to my business. So these small skills will really help you. Marketing skills to help entrepreneurs build a wide and solid network of like-minded people who can ultimately be resourceful. Now, how do you market yourself? Do you do direct marketing? Do you do indirect marketing? How are you projecting yourself, positioning yourself, your product? So that really depends on how you are, how large your network is. Do you have the good networking skills? How do you manage all these different kinds of people that come in your network? Because you'll find different kinds of people that come in a network when you have become an entrepreneur. You need to be able to have those skills to handle these kind of people. Management skills, you have to be able to delegate tasks effectively. You should not just pass tasks to your subordinates, but have a vision and, confidence in them and be persistent. So how you delegate your tasks also, so that they can effectively finish up your tasks. So that is another thing. Then social skills. Now, despite businessing have to do a lot with marketing or not, the founding entrepreneurs should know how to sell their idea, if not to customers, to their fellow investors and to their fellow friends. How do you want to sell it? Now, for me, my business is selling startups to investors. Now, we groom all the startups to get investor ready, so that they can sell their startup to the investor to get investments. Similarly, say I heard somebody having dry fruits or something like Haldiram. How you're selling it, depends. Why does Haldiram sell so much? The packaging is nice, the food is hygienic, the workers are always wearing gloves and hats. So what are the things that they do so accurately? We need to take the positives from them and implement that in our system. Now, hard skills that every entrepreneur needs to learn and implement, like forecasting skills, to make accurate predictions of the future, consequences when a task is being undertaken, and to be prepared with countering solutions to problems that may arise. Actually, all of us can figure out, okay, this problem might come. You should be ready with the plan B, plan C, not suddenly, doing things and, at the press of a button. Hiring skills, hiring the right people is important for all entrepreneurs, so that they can pass their vision to right people. Like I said, it's very important to have complementary teams, a proper marketing team, a proper technology team, a proper operations team, a finance team. Many entrepreneurs don't know how to manage their money. It's okay. If you don't know how to manage your money, hire a CFO, hire an advisor in your system who can help you manage your money, so that, you are not wasting too much money in excess marketing or doing excessively things which is not required. Now, navigation skills, to navigate the business into the right direction when unforeseen or rather shocking circumstances arise. Now, how are you going to navigate it? Now, suddenly the pandemic hit us. Everybody got the shock of the life. Post that, everybody started realizing, okay, this is how we need to navigate. This is how we need to digitally transform ourselves. And then we developed certain digital skills which we didn't have before. Now, tech skills for entrepreneurs to be able to utilize smart technology that would be resourceful for business. Every 6 months, technology changes. I think you should be hands-on with LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp, and use these skills for marketing. You should have knowledge of how to make your websites. You should have your, knowledge as to how to, get into your, how to make your app. So you should have that much sense in you, that how to use smart technology, which will really help you expedite your work. Let's go to the next page. Now, these are some more hard skills which come under financial skills. Now, financial literacy or budgeting, making smart and right investments, borrowing wisely, not just borrowing. We had a founder who bought a car with investments. We had a founder who used the money for treating cancer. Now, if you're not borrowing wisely, you will lose a lot of business. What the investors are paying you is for business. So you have to be careful in what you're using it, have the right kind of authentic business sense. Keeping personal and business separate. Cannot mix the two. You have to keep it separate. Business is business only, and keeping the personal finances separate. Being responsible to deal with financial challenges. Are you responsible enough to deal with any kind of financial financial challenges that you face. Everybody goes through challenges, ups and downs. Even I face challenges, but you have to be responsible. If you're not responsible, nobody is going to come and save you. You have to be on your own and develop your own skills and perform wisely to be able to get to the position where you want to. Now, delegation. Now, the key to effectively leading, directing, managing, and controlling people to work in an organized manner. An entrepreneur is a leader to many, and leaders don't find their way to make people work through micromanaging. The tone is rather, set by. So, please don't do micromanaging. I've seen many founders do micromanaging. You will get a headache if you keep doing micromanaging. You have to delegate the tasks in such a way that you're able to control everything. Again, forecasting skills to make accurate predictions of the future consequences when a task is being undertaken, and to be prepared with countering solutions to possible problems that may arise. Tech skills for entrepreneurs to be able to utilize smart technologies, which I mentioned before. Hiring the right people is important, and navigation skills. Now, skills that distinguish an entrepreneur from an employee. Entrepreneurs live for risks while employees fear away from taking them. Entrepreneurs make and break plans while employees merely follow them. So entrepreneurs plan on making money while employees care about getting the money. And entrepreneurs specialize in everything associated with business while employees restrict themselves to their departments. Entrepreneurs create directions while employees seek a path. So, this is my differentiation, because I am an entrepreneur myself. You need to have that kind of driving qualities in you and not box yourself in all the time. And a successful entrepreneur is a person with a plan who exactly knows what they need to do and how. Now, having a clear vision, entrepreneurs need to identify their desired goal and create a stable vision, not just for themselves, but for anyone associated with the vision. It drives and reminds everyone with the purpose behind their perseverance. Why is it that I told all of you that, look, you need to read the book Power of the Subconscious Mind. When you read the book, Power of the Subconscious Mind, your mind will become really positive. It will start, thinking in a center manner rather than being impulsive on decisions and making decisions which are not clear. So if you as an entrepreneur or a founder don't have a clear vision, you cannot pass that to your employees or the people who will be working under you, or the people who are in partnering with you, or your investors. Having a certain business plan to achieve, knowing the vision for the business and working towards it with consistency, persistence, emotional intelligence is critical. So I think you all need to have a certain business plan to achieve your vision. And we are done with the PPT now. We are open to questions now, but the questions will be picked up by 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍. He would be picking up the right set of questions, and then we would take it forward. So I hope all of you like the presentation. 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗍, could we take the questions if you?
Yes. Now we can. Yes. There is a question from 𝗦𝘂𝗃𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀. Is writing, ma'am, for being entrepreneur and startups, MBA is important?
See, if you have this MBA degree, it is always important because it has taught you some skills for business. It has taught you some skills that you might not have it, but that's not the only thing. Like, I have seen people really emphasize on getting an MBA. No, I mean, as long as you have done some good education, at least you're a graduate, I think you can take up entrepreneurship. Not necessarily you have to be an MBA, but it's an added skill. If you have it, it's good for you.
Okay, I think Aniket get the reply. So now moving ahead, there is a question from Rahul. He is writing how to test the business idea in ideation phase.
See, firstly, you need to show it to an investment banker or an advisor, make a business plan, get it vetted by a mentor, whether even it's workable at the idea stage that you're working on. To give a used case, when TikTok had gone off, I had these few youngsters that were calling me that, we have made something like TikTok, it's a cricket app. And I told them, look, this will not work. You don't need to burn your parents' hard-earned money. And I told them that this idea will not work. They showed me the plan, they explained me everything. So don't come up with any idea. First, try to vet your idea, make a good business plan, show it to somebody who is knowledgeable, who understands the market. Study your market well. Who's your audience? Are you targeting even the right audience for your idea? Do proper research on your idea. And if it's a disruptive idea, it definitely works. If it is not a disruptive idea, then definitely you need to look into showing it to a business, to somebody who understands businesses.
Okay. And there is a similar question from, not similar actually, this is from Mayank, not Mayank, our startup is ideation. Yes, Mayank is asking mentorship basically. So they are in the new startup ideation stage and looking for a mentorship. I think Mayank, Vandana ji, you can directly take offline. Yes, yes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, and now Ayona Chanda, she is asking, how important do you feel it is to have a legal team for a startup in the initial stages?
See, in the initial stages, you really don't need to have a legal team. The investor has their own legal team. You can always show, if you have hired an investment banker, you can show to their legal team. When you need some legal services, just like there are virtual CFO services, there are many virtual legal services that one can opt for when required. You don't need to actually hire somebody in-house if you cannot afford it at that stage. If you can afford it, you please go and hire somebody. But if you cannot afford it, go for somebody virtual. Outsource your the services that you need.
Okay, I think so. Now moving ahead, this is a question from Udit Vasudeva. He's asking, how can I do fundraising for my upcoming wellness Vedic village resort, a 50-room key property on bank of Ganges?
See, you need to make a business plan first. A proper business plan. We will need to make your financial model. We will need to get the valuations. We might need to make an information memorandum, and then we will decide how you could take this forward. If you could either get debt investments through banks, NBFCs, or you could go for equity.
Okay. So moving ahead, this is Rahul again have a question. Is it necessary for a founder to have a knowledge of everything like accounting, tax, sales, finance, or he can depend on their employees?
See, it is good to have knowledge, but it's like there are professionals for every field. A pitch tech maker will know his work better. Finance officer will know their work better. An operations manager will know their work better. So, allocate the tasks to people who are professionals and who can handle it. But as a founder, have knowledge of everything is good, because at least you will not get duped at any stage. But, get things done by a professional. Like I always insist, get your business plan made by a professional, get your information memorandums made by a professional, because you don't know what exactly is the market trend going on. You don't know what exactly goes into it. And similarly, the person who's doing the accounts and taxation is very, very professional in their skill. They know what is going on, the latest accounting techniques, what are the latest taxing issues that are going on. So they'll help you out. So it's good to, allocate work to others and trust them. If you have hired them, you need to trust them and, give them the confidence that, you're a good founder.
This is a question from Myron. They are the young startup, but lack of funds to move on. Please advise.
So again, they will need to at least do some basic stuff like make a website, have their LinkedIn in order, because investors will look at that. They can reach out to angel investors if they are lack of funds. They need to look in for family and friends who could invest some money and give them a push for now. Or if they have saved through their salaries, they could do some investment in their own startup, because they have to do something. They cannot just bank on just somebody coming and giving them money like that.
Yeah, true. So Anshul has a question. They are outsourcing the UI UX of the project, and so can we go for a legal documentation before starting of the project?
If you haven't started the project if you mean patent, you should get, if it's a new technology that you're coming up with, you need to get yourself patent, which is important. But going in for legal documents before anything is started is not justified. First, at least start what you're doing, see how it goes. Then if you need it to spend on those kind of legal services, then you can spend. But if it is not required at this stage, don't unnecessarily spend money.
This is a question, I don't know whose name. Actually, it is written as dry fruits gifting, so I don't know the name. So what percentage we can dilute equity for co-founders in matured stage? Some insights. Yeah.
Okay, sure. So I'm just giving you hypothetical figures. VCs take 10 to 15% for equity dilution. PEs also take about that much. Angels take a lot. They take 25 to 30%, depending on who is coming in as an angel. HNIs also take about that much, and strategic investors take up to 50%. So it depends actually from investors to investors, what they want to, what they are proposing, what is the kind of startup, what is the kind of revenue that they have, what is the kind of technology they are bringing on the table, what is it that they are solving as a problem, what is it that is so destructive that they should invest in, because it is also the investors' hard-earned money that they are putting in your startup. So naturally, they will take some form of equity, but it depends from investor to investor when it comes from angels and HNIs. When it comes to VCs and PEs, that is between 10 to 15%. Sometimes they do take 20%, depending on the kind of startup.
Yeah. So now this is a question from Yash Bansal. So he is asking, actually, my partner are from MBA field and with no idea of tech part, currently we are looking for a co-founder as a full stack developer who can take an IT infra, as it's expensive to hire in-house person for same in bootstrap stage. How and where to find the same with business mindset to keep aligned with the goals with at least 4 years of commitment?
See, now co-founders, you can find, there are many Facebook groups that help you to find co-founders. You can go through LinkedIn, post an ad. You can find it from your own network. I don't help in finding co-founders as such, but you can post in MSME groups if you're in the WhatsApp groups as well. You have to post your requirements.
Yeah.
For the co-founder and the kind of co-founder you want.
Okay. Rahul is asking, young entrepreneurs, is good to go with the angel investor for funds or using bootstrapping method in initial phase?
Again, depends on what is the kind of startup, how much you have bootstrapped, what is your financial model, what is it that exactly does your startup do that is different from the others. So there are a lot of factors. So it's always good to try to bootstrap as much as you can. Then go for professional services of pitch deck making, financial modeling, reaching out to investors. If you can bootstrap it and if it's going well, just focus on that and keep continuing doing the good work.
Yeah. So, ma'am, again, Manish Tanna is asking, in today's open scenario, brand loyalty is missing in business with channel partners. What do you suggest to have a consistent business with dealers?
Sorry, could you repeat the question? What
Yeah.
is about brand loyalty?
It's an open scenario. Brand loyalty is missing in business with channel partners. What do you suggest to have a consistent business with dealers?
There are so many businesses. There is food tech, there is agri tech, there is cloud kitchens. There is so many e-commerce startups. I mean, there is so much to do. I mean, how do I suggest you what business you have to pick up with your channel partners? What is your brand? What is exactly that you are looking for? You have to explain me more, maybe for me to understand what I should suggest you to which business to pick up, because there are many hot businesses right now. I'll just tell you which are the hot sectors. They are fintech, agri-tech, ed-tech, food tech, cloud kitchens, IoT, robotics, health tech. These are the hot sectors. Now, if you have anything with these sectors, definitely, you can achieve a lot in these sectors. Also, software as a service provider, SaaS, that's a good sector to be in. So there are these sectors. AI, if you're doing something in AI. So depends again that what exactly you want to do, but these are some of the hot sectors. Fashion is also there, but fashion tech, again, not just fashion as in, but fashion tech, or, organic cosmetics, organic foods, these kind of products are doing good in the market nowadays because people are very health conscious. Fitness, health tech products, e-clinics. We don't know if the third wave is going to hit us or the fourth wave. Are we ready to go to e-clinics to consult a doctor like this, like how you and I are sitting? So all these factors you have to keep into consideration. E-pharmacies are doing very good. You can order medicines online. So all these things you have to take into consideration.
So here also one, I think it is a repetition, but it's still just small, slightly changes. It's asked is that business methods you suggest your youngster, cash flow model or equity model?
See, naturally, who are your partners? Who are your founders? If they are investing some money, they should ideally get equity. As in, it is always better rather than so I think that I had a health tech company that was doing a lot of business in cash. So we suggested them to clear their accounts, make everything clean. So it's better if you go the clean and hygienic way, and whoever is putting money in your company, you give them equity. That works always better. And also some founders do get salaries apart from equity because they have to run their show as well. So again, depends. Say I've invested 25 lakhs in your company. Naturally, I'll expect some equity some profit from what you're making, etc. So all these factors, these are questions that you have to decide who's coming and what is it that you are bringing on the table. So there's no standard answer for this. Actually, it depends again from case to case.
Now this is a question, not question, it is a, she's asking, Ritika is asking how to get funding from government for production unit set up in food industry.
See, there are a lot of, we are more a private player. We deal with private equity investors and funds and VCs and HNIs and with startups. But for government, they have Startup India. They have a lot of other facilities for women that they provide, where you can get loans and start your work. I think MSME Forum, Nitesh or somebody would be good to help you out with that. They are well connected with the government stuff. I'm more of a
certainly in the MSME, we will look it after and all that. And lot of like our right now national advisor, Niranjan Jain, is from Ahmedabad. So he's also suggesting lot of ways. So we are, Ritika, we can do help, not a problem, I think.
Yeah, yes.
So I think Vandana ji, this is the questions only majorly.
Okay, so anybody else wants to ask any questions, or we can wrap it up?
Yeah. So participant, any questions from Vandana ji, kindly let us know so we can throw it out. लगता है सबके पास questions खत्म हो गए.
No worries, no worries. We started at 4, so we are almost 1 hour. So I think we answered almost all questions. If there are any more questions, I could be reached out on LinkedIn. How can we be mentor to startups? For that, you need to have a lot of experience. What is your experience? What are the roles that you've handled in the past? Have you had your own startup before? Have you dealt with businesses? Then of course, you can become a mentor. Because you have to start mentoring startups. Have you been in accelerators, incubators before? And what kind of mentoring you want to do? Do you want to help in technology support? Do you want to help in, what kind of support also depends on that.
Vandana ji, this is a new question. I don't know, relevant to the field. It's from Ravi. How can listed new startup in BSE and NSE?
I am not aware of this. I just do equity investments. That is my focus.
That's why I told irrelevant question according to the subject today.
If you ask me anything with regards to equity investments, I can answer this listing and all. Some expert would be there, definitely, who could answer this. I'm not expert in listings.
So, Ravi ji, you can just either you can Google it, or even we can do offline by asking these things, because I don't know this about, even I don't know how can we list it in new startup BSE and NSE. Might be there is some criteria, eligibility criteria is there from the BSE NSE. From there you can do it. Yes, just Google it. I think you can find it out.
The companies listed in BSE and NSE cannot be in MSME.
Okay.
There is, I entered little late. I'm Manoj. There is a MSME listing available on IPOs, but that is a separate thing, not the main NSE BSE. There is a MSME listing for IPOs available.
Okay, so maybe you could reach out to Manoj's iPhone.
Yeah. Ravi ji, you can connect to Mr. 𝗦𝗂𝗰𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗽𝗍𝗂 and Mr. Manoj ji also. So you can get that.
Can I request you one thing?
Please, please.
There can be a very a question from a member who may not be knowing the subject, but we should respect what his views are there. And if we can address it amicably it is good, but laughing on the subject, it is not advisable. Thank you very much.
No,
Sure.
we can laugh at it. I just said I don't know about this at all. And, you know, this is not my expertise.
Shyamji, I will comment.
And
I
somebody
will-
from the forum would be happy.
No, Shyamji, I will comment on this subject. Basically, there is not a law for like that. Actually, the session is for the skill, soft skill, and Vandana ji is expert on that entrepreneurship and investments and all. So on that subject, actually, this is totally different subject, which she don't know. Even I don't know as a host. So we request that person ki you can Google it, or might you can ask me even offline. So that will be, we can answer. See, क्या होता है कभी कभी हर सब्जेक्ट में हमें सब नहीं पता रहता है, बट हम लोग कोशिश करते हैं कि उसको लेकर कहीं से उसको आइडिया लेकर, क्योंकि मैं आपको गलत इंफॉर्मेशन दूंगा तो वो भी सही नहीं है. तो नहीं जानते हैं तो नहीं जानते, अगर जानते हैं तो जरूर बताएंगे उसके बारे में. तो ये बात है घनश्याम जी. और मैडम, इन घनश्याम जी का भी एक क्वेश्चन था, लेकिन क्वेश्चन नहीं है, बेसिकली वो अपने प्ले स्कूल को चालू करना चाहते हैं, उसके लिए वो इन्वेस्टर ढूंढ रहे हैं.
पहले तो किस तरीके का प्ले स्कूल है, क्या उन्होंने उनका बिजनेस प्लान बनाया हुआ है, और उन्होंने क्या क्या उसके लिए डॉक्यूमेंटेशन रेडी करा है, वो देख के ही हम बता सकेंगे कि उनको इन्वेस्टमेंट्स मिलेगा, और अगर मिलेगा तो किस टाइप ऑफ इन्वेस्टर से मिलेगा. अगर उनका कोई डॉक्यूमेंट है तो वो शेयर कर सकते हैं.
यस. तो घनश्याम जी, आप अगर ये आपके पास रेडी है तो काइंडली शेयर करें मैडम के साथ, तो आगे उस पर वर्कआउट हो सकता है. बिल्कुल. तो वंदना जी, आई थिंक वी हैव कवर्ड ऑल द क्वेश्चंस, क्वेरीज, एवरीथिंग, so we can wrap it out.
Okay, so we can wrap it up now.
Yes. So thank you participants and to attending and giving your precious time for the wonderful session by Vandana Tolani ji, and we hope you enjoyed the session and got all answers and everything. If anything, you can let us know in an offline session. We can surely connect you, we can help you from whatever the extent we can do. Yes, Vandana ji, please.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was a great pleasure. The audience is superbly great, and thank you for all the wonderful questions. And you could please feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm a LinkedIn handle if you have further questions. And thank you so much, MSME, Amitesh ji, Nitish, for having me here, and Ashu ji and Preeti ji. Thank you so much.
For IPO, I mentioned my phone number on chat box, please. This is Manoj.
Okay,
and
sure.
Thank you for your nice session, madam.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you. Bye.
And thank you to our back office support.